So it's been over a year since I left my 9-to-5 job and a lot has happened. I've learned a lot of things, and in this video, I'm going to be going over the 5 things that I learned since leaving my 9-to-5 job and starting my own business and pursuing YouTube full-time, pursuing freelance video editing full-time. The first thing I really had to think about, even before I left my 9-to-5 job, is really getting a strong hold of my finances. Because if you think about it, once you leave your 9-to-5, you don't have that consistent paycheck, so you need to have work lined up that can pay you, whether it's through content creation, freelance video work. And not only that, but also have the systems and processes in place to make sure that you're set up well financially, where you can track your finances as a business owner. This includes accounting software, invoicing software, so how do clients pay you? How do you keep track of everything? And one tool I use that's kind of like my North Star of my business is my cash flow forecasting sheet. This sheet is golden for business owners. And if you're a freelancer that is interested in having a template that you can use for your own business, I do have a link down in the video description for my patron members. If you're not a patron yet, on my Patreon page, you can join, support the channel, and download this asset from my page, along with all the other templates and assets I've created as a video editor within the last 3 years or so. It's a very valuable resource. I'm going to show you exactly what you can do using it to help your business stay on track financially. Now, what a cash flow forecast is essentially is it basically displays how much cash you have in your business over time. You have your beginning balance at the start of each month, and then you list the income that you made in the month, all your expenses for the month, and then what the balance is at the end of the month. And then you carry that over to the next month and the following month. You basically have a sheet for each year. So if we take a look at this template here, this is the exact template that is linked down in the video description. And let's say if you're starting your business, what you can do here is, we'll pretend we're in January. You can see that there's an income section and an expenses section. Say if you have cash or an investment that you'd like to put into your business, you can add it here. So let's pretend we have $10,000. I'm just gonna add 10,000 to this. And once you add it in, you'll see that it populates down at the bottom. So this is the ending balance for that month of January. And then it's tallied forward to the month of February and so on and so forth. Now, obviously, as you start your business, you have to pay yourself. So let's say if we pay ourselves maybe, I don't know, $3,500 a month, you can see that once we add $3,500 under owner drawings, or you can think of this as your paycheck, essentially, you can see that it deducts and it goes down to $6,500. Now, you're probably going to pay yourself each month. So what you can do is click and drag this all the way to the right. That way it adds $3,500 to each month. You can start to see the effect of having this sheet is that you can calculate in the future how long your runway is as a business owner. You can see by the second or third month that we're now in the red. We're actually negative, and you don't want to go negative. That's why having this sheet is very valuable to keep on top of your business. For example, you can add in different income. So I put in video editing, weddings. Let's say if you have different projects that pop up, weddings is a very specific one that can be very beneficial to add to a cash flow forecast. Let's say if you know, maybe you have 2 weddings in March, you can add them in. So let's say each wedding's around $3,000, you can add $6,000. Maybe you know you have an August wedding. You can add maybe, another one down there. Maybe you have a big video editing project in, maybe June, you can add maybe 5,000 there. And you can start to plan out your year, especially if you have projects down the road. You can also do the same with expenses. And similarly, if you have recurring expenses, so for example, Adobe Creative Cloud, you can add in maybe I think it's around $56. And then you can, once again, click and drag this to the right and add it to all the other lines here. So you can start to build out your cash flow for your business. So that's a cash flow forecast. It's very valuable. It's probably one of the most important documents that I have in my business. But another thing you'll notice if you ever start your own business and you're not working a 9-to-5 is that you're not clocking in or clocking out anymore. You don't have to clock in when you get to work or clock out. You can pretty much plan your own schedule. But this has pros and cons, because when I first left my 9-to-5, I realized that I kind of still need a structure per se, or still at least keep track of my time, especially when it comes to projects. It's very valuable as a freelancer to see how much time each project is actually taking up in your day. So what I've been using recently is an app called Toggle. Now, I'll link it down in the video description. It's completely free to use. There are paid versions, but you can use it for free. And it's probably one of the best free apps that I've come across as a freelance video editor. I'm going to blur a lot of the project names here just to show you, but in general here, you basically have a calendar and you can assign different projects And it's basically just a stopwatch timer, essentially. You can see right now I have content creation projects because right now I'm filming a YouTube video. And I've been working on this video for an hour and 43 minutes, and it just keeps running until I stop it. So if I hit stop, you can add another project. Let's say if I switch projects, you can choose other projects that I've created here. And it's just a good way to keep track of your time. From the top, you can see your week total so far. You can see which projects are taking up the most time here. You can color code them. So for me, I color coded them based on the client or the organization I work with. And my stuff is in red. Since I'm a YouTuber, I figured that I would keep it in red for YouTube. But to add a project, you can just go to projects and add new project at the top right. You can add in a project here, color code it, name it, and just organize it to your liking. But that's a brief overview of Toggl. I've been really enjoying the platform so far, and it's been a definite benefit to having in my business. All right, so the next point I wanted to make is the difference between products and services when running your own business. One thing that, when you're working a 9 to 5, you're essentially trading your time for money. So you show up, you're trading your time, however long you're there for, a certain amount of money. But when I started my own business, as a freelance video editor, it's still a service. So I'm still trading essentially my time for money. But then there's also this difference between creating products, whether they're physical or digital, and then also services. So, video editing at the end of the day is a service. I'm providing a service for video editing work for my clients, but also there's digital products that you can develop as a business owner as well. And this has the possibility to earn even more money over time. One example that I've launched is my Patreon page. So if you're not aware, you can join my Patreon page and download assets, templates that I've created as a video editor. And this kind of just runs on its own without having to manually manage it. In this way, you're not trading your time for money, you're creating something on the front end and then have it available for purchase. You don't have to actually actively keep up and manage it. Another digital product I'm considering making is an online course for video editing. If you missed my last video, I'm thinking about creating an online course. If you are interested in providing some feedback for that course, I will leave the link down below, where you can submit your feedback as a video editor if you're looking to learn more about Premiere Pro or how to edit professionally. Another thing that I realized after leaving my 9 to 5 is really trying to find my specialty. Because when I first left, I'm a video editor, right? So I make videos, but what type of videos do I make? Do I make social media videos? Do I make still live event related videos, since that's where I used to be in the most? Do I do interviews? Do I, do real estate? Do I do weddings? And the reality is I can do all of these, but what am I really good at, or what do I really want to do? And when you work a 9 to 5, you're limited to kind of whatever the job is, right? And sometimes you do things you don't want to do. So a good example of this is that I did a lot of graphic design in my old 9 to 5. And when I started my own business, I kind of had to make a decision where do I want to still offer, graphic design services? And it's one of those things that I can do. I don't think I'm the best at it, but at the end of the day, it's not my specialty. Video is my specialty. So even though I can do graphic design, it's not a core offering in my business. The other thing that I realized when starting my own business is realizing how much relationships really matter. I think as freelance video editors, sometimes we think we're gonna get jobs on Fiverr or Upwork or cold email. And yes, you can do this, and sometimes it is successful, you can find jobs. But at the end of the day, to get the most bookings, you need that personal client relationship. People that know you are more likely to hire you. And a lot of my business in my first year as a business owner has really come from referrals. There are people that have reached out to me. They saw that I left my 9 to 5, started my own business, and we had a relationship long before I launched my own business. So I think understanding that as a freelance video editor, or if you're considering leaving your 9 to 5, really focusing on networking, building relationships is going to be huge for your business. But those are the 5 things that I've learned since starting my own business. I have to say, I have no regrets leaving my 9 to 5. It's been a great decision for me. I feel like it was a right time, right place, and the right opportunity to take at the right time. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful if you're considering either starting a career as a freelance video editor, starting your own business, or maybe you're at a 9 to 5 and considering leaving. But that does it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.